Hey, what's good, everybody? This is Coach Demond Cowins at Hoop Navigation. I got a special guest. And this guest, I watched him grow over the years since he was 14 years old, hometown out of Elizabeth, but he did most of his work and doing all the grinding in Newark at University High School, where I was coaching there, assistant coach, Coach Elijah Allen. And I could tell you, this is so special because all the things this young man is doing right now is off the charts. So we're here, and I just want to say a strong and a blessed welcome to Kazembe Abif, y'all. Let's go, Kazembe. Good to see you, my brother.
Good to see you as well.
Absolutely. So, before I allow for Kazembe to speak, and also AKA Lord McBuckets, if you guys want to follow my IG, Lord McBuckets. But I can tell you, the epitome of work ethic, the epitome of focus. This young man used to get up in the mornings at 7 a.m. with him and his teammates and get the work in. It was no games. He got the work in, he developed, and went from basically when no one knew who he was to the player of the year in the county and leading the team to back-to-back state championships. So it's like, I'm going to let him speak about his background, but I could tell you that, when he said he was one of those ones, absolutely one of those ones.
Absolutely. So, just a little bit about me. I was born in Pittsburgh. I moved to Newark when I was 4. So my mom's from Newark. Both my parents went out to University of Pittsburgh. So I was born out there, then came back to New Jersey. We moved to Newark. Lived in Newark South Ward till about 6th grade. We moved about 10 minutes right over the border to Elizabeth. And just my academic background was a little bit different, just going to school. So I always went to school in Newark. I went to start at St. Philip's Academy, where I really did my from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade. And St. Philip's Academy was a private school downtown Newark, an all-Black private school that kind of just structured our minds to see that the world was kind of bigger than Newark. The school, like, we had different options. We were learning French early, different. They offered Russian classes, Spanish classes, just a whole different variety of things, activities. Field trips, going camping to North Carolina, going up to Frost Valley in New York. And as you got into middle school, they really focused on introducing us to independent day schools and boarding schools. So like for me, I went to boarding school right away. So I knew probably in like 7th grade that I wanted to go to a boarding school. Our school took us on tours. We would be going to all these prep schools, South Kent, Blair Academy, all these prep schools in the Northeast. And one of the beautiful things about it too was that former students that we know and that I looked up to as a basketball player. So when I'm in 6th grade, they're in 8th grade, and they're going on to these schools. When we would go visit, they would be there. So we would have somebody that we know, that we connected with, who can kind of tell us tell us what it was like and what their experience was. And I think that was just eye-opening. So I was fortunate enough to like kind of have a brighter kind of view on the world, and knew that I kind of wanted to see more and things like that. And one thing a lot of people don't know, like football was really like my primary sport. It wasn't until my senior year in high school that I decided that I wanted to go to college for basketball. So once my football coach left at my prep school, my sophomore year, I ended up transferring. I wanted to come back home for basketball season after my sophomore year. I'm like, there's really no need for me to be up here. My coach left to go to another boarding school, and I just wanted to be more around my friends and family. So I transferred into university. Literally, probably the day I transferred in was the first game of the season. Like, we were playing a science high first game. So really, like my sophomore year, being that like I had been away for about a year and a half from the city, a lot of people like on the public high school level didn't know who I was. I didn't go to like didn't play in like in the Newark public school basketball leagues where like, high school coaches are like recruiting and going to the middle school games and things. So I just like, I showed up and was ready to hoop. So I was fortunate, to really grow and come into my own as a basketball player at University High. One of the reasons why I chose that, just the academic rigor, of course. It's a magnet school and one of the top schools in Newark, where sending kids to college is the norm. People were there going to different Ivy Leagues and just a lot of different career paths. So I always knew kind of like life was bigger than just playing sports. And again, I was a football player. I didn't really hit a growth spurt until like 8th, 9th, 10th grade. Like in 7th grade, I was 5'7". So like I didn't think that I would be, what I mean? It wasn't like I was one of those super tall kids. Like there were kids like in middle school, like in my middle school, we had a dude who was 6'3" already. He ended up getting a basketball scholarship to Rice. We had another dude who was 6'2". Like I wasn't one of the tall kid. I wasn't playing on the block. I didn't until I transferred into public school and actually saw that like people weren't like there weren't big people where I had to play center. Like I that was new to me. So many just different adjustments and adversities that kind of really at university turned me into who I was. So just the fortune and the blessing that I had and to really go to a place where that didn't have a strong basketball history. University wasn't known for high school basketball. We were known as the University High School of the Humanities. We had debate clubs. We had a drumline team, things like that. So really
100%.
Yeah. So I'm like, we were a small school. Everybody knew everybody. It was that small, and from 7th to 12th grade. So really, I had an opportunity and knew that I had an opportunity to kind of create my own legacy and create a pathway. And that's just as a person growing up, I knew that I didn't really want to be. I never wanted to be a follower. I always walked to the beat of my own drum. Telling my mom in 7th grade, like, I want to go to boarding school. Like, my mom was like, what? Like, you trying to leave? And things like that. And knew that it would take hard work and really just finding a core group of friends who we were able to just grow together as a team. We were a tight team who we would be in class together, lunch together, and really spending that time. And that's what it takes. It takes that bond, that brotherhood, because when you get in these tight situations, you really have to trust these people. There was one of the biggest things for me. We were able to win my junior year, win a state championship, win a county championship, and then at the the awards come out. I just won a state championship. It's the second best player on the team. We had Devon Gibson, who was just Noop, who was just a stud. I'm like, I never played with a player that good. When I say, 6'3", had bounce, could dunk on people, had handle, can shoot the ball. Really, was the leader of the team. But I was getting double doubles and stood out. No recognition. When I said, like, I didn't even make all county. Like, I really felt played with. And that's really kind of what fueled me going into my senior year. I said, I'll never let nobody play with me. I'm not even going to let anybody think that they could deny me from what's mine. So really going from my junior year, going into my senior year, I'm in the gym every day, early, like getting to it. And now I'm looking forward to, I'm hearing the chatter, like, if you from Newark, people just going to talk trash about anything or whatever. Anything you do is a fluke. So, I'm already hearing the chatter or whatever, like, oh, Noop gone, y'all over. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, now I get the ball and watch this. Like there's we're going up. Like the level of the team, and we lost some seniors, but that I just knew it was my time. So going into that senior year, I just had a different mindset. Like we're here to dominate our opponent every game. We're not playing. I don't want people to think that they can compete with us on the court, especially in Newark. Like it's just that Newark pride. I'm like, I don't want Central to even think they should be on the same court as us. I don't want Shabazz thinking that they're as good as. I don't want Behringer thinking they can play with us. So really just having that brotherhood and people you can rely on really kind of set that precedent for me. And when things got tough, I knew I had other people that I could rely on, and they knew that they could rely on me. So just that background growing up with that tough mentality, and just knowing we gotta strap the Timbs up and go to work. There's no excuses
Absolutely.
for anything. If you want something, you have to go get it. There's nothing that anybody's gonna hand to you. And that really kind of just fueled me and kept my mindset, like even still to this day.
Absolutely. I can remember the battles, and I could see like some of our players in terms of their mental toughness at times, and I would be like, yo, are they gonna are they gonna still, grind this out? And then I remember playing when we were playing at Central one time, and it was a hostile crowd. And I can remember you balling, right? And it was one of those situations where it was like, and I sat back and was like, man, I watched what you did. And I was like, Kazembe ain't no punk. He went out there and you did your thing. And I mean, you just kept your level high. It didn't matter if they got physical. You was like, nah, we out here, we grinded. And I never forget those performances, man. I never forget those. I remember the time when we was down at the county, those 2 county championships, man. And I remember your senior year, and I was like, yo, Kaz out here knocking down threes. He out here finishing at the rim. He out here throwing assists. I'm like, yo. I'm like, man, listen, I don't know. I said at the time, I don't know who's going to do this whole, voting for player of the year for the county. But I said, he just sold this up. I remember after that game, I said, he sold that up. That's it. That's a wrap. But that grit and that grind, like sometimes people, mistake like toughness to be like, rah, 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 I'm tough on this and that. But really, it's really about when things get tough and you hit adversity, your back's against the wall. How do you respond? And I watched you respond countless times in moments with the team, and you were one of the leaders. You and Derek, you guys were leaders. And it was moments where it was like, yo, they made a run? Okay. And you guys would just bounce back, and we just kept moving. It was a beautiful that time. I could just say it was one of the most beautiful times in my coaching career, just being in that staff. It was so beautiful, man. And while you're going through it, when you're going through, you don't realize like, yo, how magical, those seasons were, And I remember the first time that when I share this story sometimes with people. I remember the first time when University was ranked. We were ranked 17th in the state, and I can remember the pregame speech. I can remember the practice before preparing to play against MKA, and the scouting report was they got somebody up there doing some Jordan type stuff, and I can remember the faces of our boys because I remember you guys. You guys are hyped up. You like, nah, man, ain't nobody gonna be rocking on us like that. Nah, I don't care what they talking about. And you remember that story, right?
100%. I remember this. I remember.
I'm gonna let you take over on from a player's perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's important. So you guys, everybody knows who this player is. So at this time, this is my sophomore year. Me and Kyrie were in the same class. So this is before Kyrie Irving went to St. Pat's. When I say he wasn't ranked in the state, nobody knew him on a national level. He goes to this nice suburban school, on a nice campus up at Montclair Kimberly Academy. Like, so one, we going up there from North. We like, we about to just punk them straight, like easy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anybody put on a performance like that. I've never been a part of anything like this. Like, and that's kind of the moment when because I'm competing against these guys in practice too, and like I think we got some tough guys, some tough background. This dude Kyrie had 48 points, 17 rebounds, and 8 assists in a 32-minute game. Like I've never seen nothing like it was really like Jordan-esque, and that's that moment. I'm like, if this guy don't go to the league, I don't know what the league looks like. Like I don't like if there was just a clear gap, and nobody knew him outside of Essex County, and like this was like this is really when they say finding like a diamond in the rough. I'm like, nah. The next year, like within just from that game, that was probably like November. From that November to the 1 year later, this dude was top point guard in the country. Like if other people finally found out who he was, and he was never wavered. And that's when, like, for me, I'm just like, oh, there's another level. Like if you think you're good, like, and that's a lot. That's going to be a wake up call too for a lot of young players. And this is why I love challenging young players, because sometimes young players, they think that they're the best player in their city, or they're the best player in the county, or the hood hypes them up until you meet another guy who you don't know who's really like that. And then like you're either gonna be in denial or you're gonna be like, okay, I need to get in the gym and work on my game because I see what that next level looks like. And just that day, and that was a wake up call for all of us. Like everybody was in disbelief. Like I really hope that film is burned. I don't want anybody to see that because that was special.
I'm gonna tell you, after that game, and I told Kyrie this. I told him and his pops. I said, after that game, I don't know how many coaches I called. And I said, listen, do you know who Kyrie Irving is? And it had to be at least 10 coaches, like just guys I knew that was coaching, high school, college. I said, do you know Kyrie? And they were like, nah. I said, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to find out soon. I just said I was on a sideline and I just saw one of the most incredible performances that I've ever seen, still to this day, live. I mean, that was exceptional.
Yeah, and this was as a sophomore. And the crazy thing, like the same exact player you guys see, like right now, all he did was just get older. Like he was the same exact player. Like I don't know if he was strong. He could have been in the NBA. He could have been in the like. He was the number one pick while playing, while missing over half the season at Duke for a reason. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he was really that special at that age, and like one just he's the pride of Jersey. You know what I mean? He's like, we have a lot of great, like Jersey is known for hoops, but like that moment just for us as a team, for me, I'm like that was a big wake up call where I'm like, oh yeah, nah. We're not who we think we are.
Facts. MK wasn't ranked. They weren't known. It was like we're going up to think we just gonna run them out the gym, and it was like, no. I remember that like that was like yesterday.
It's vivid. I'm like, as I'm talking about it, it's playing. Like I'm watching the game in my mind right now.
That was exceptional. I could tell you that much, man. So after university, high school, you graduated, and then you went to Lawrenceville Prep, and you did 1 year there. Like now, it's interesting how early on you wanted to go to a boarding school, and you end up at a prep boarding school for your prep year. Man, tell me a little bit about that year as going to the prep school there.
So for me, there was two reasons why I chose the prep. I had Division I offers. at my senior year, like coming out of university. So I could have went straight to college if I wanted to. For me, it was two things. I was a 16-year-old senior,
Right.
which
There we
is
go.
like, and the average age of a Division I athlete freshman is 19. Like, this is like people who been reclassifying, been going to prep school. Like, people were 19. Like, I played, like, when I got to college, I'm like, why my teammates got kids? Like
What's going
legit.
on?
I'm
Right.
like legit, like grown, like physically grown men. So I knew, as a Division I, as a Division I athlete, I needed to still develop physically. In terms of that, I was still probably like 185 pounds. And I knew that I needed to just get another year of development. Secondly, Lawrenceville's one of the top 10 academic schools in the country. So going there and getting a diploma from there will set me up. The connections and the people that I met there. I would say 1 out of every 5 graduate goes to an Ivy League school who went there. The owner of the Brooklyn Nets went to Lawrenceville. Like the alumni, the connection, the deep embedded, like we had on our campus, we had a full golf course, we had a farm, we had a field house with 5 basketball courts, we had multiple weight rooms, multiple dining rooms. Like the thing, Rider University, Division I university, is on the same street. When I say like the campus of Lawrenceville put that to shame, and I think it has a higher endowment. Like
Wow.
it was an opportunity that like I couldn't pass up. I don't think that I definitely wouldn't have just chose any prep school or any boarding school. I wasn't a player who needed to get my grades up. I wasn't a player who needed to pass the SAT or ACT. I went more for a holistic reason of how going here, how can making this life decision at 16, 17 help me for when I'm 35, 40 years old. And I already had that mindset. I knew that going to this particular school and it being closer to Philly, where I committed to Drexel before I got to campus at Lawrenceville. So like I could have, like the coaches were saying, like you don't have to do this. Like you can just come to college or whatever. I'm like, nah, I already have something in my mind that this is where I need to be right now, and I'll see you guys next summer. And just that being just a short ride from Drexel, I was already going down to campus and hanging out with the team. People think I'm on, like, you know what I mean? People know I'm the recruit that's coming in. So like I was already, half living a college life already before I got there. So that was the biggest decision, and just the competition, the level, like in our league. Blair Academy was in our league, where Charlie Villanueva, Royal Ivy, Luau Dang went to. Joakim Noah went to Lawrenceville. So like, Petty, like these teams, and then we would play in tournaments. We would play against like the Williston Northamptons and Tilton schools, and these big prep schools were like high level division. So like I knew every day when we played, we had a game. Well,
There's gonna be some smoke.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, oh, we got Wilbraham and Monson. They were like, yeah, dude's going to Kansas. I'm like, all right, well, guess what? I'm about to bust it. Watch this. Well, that means give me his scholarship. I don't know why Bill Self ain't calling me, because this dude not better than me. Like, we play next game, like, or we'll play Hun School. Hun School has 4 Division I players. So I already knew playing in this league would prepare me for that next level, because I'm playing against other Division I athletes, but also academically set me up for a network in life that will put me in kind of like a different path than the average person.
Absolutely. It's interesting, man, that you had that foresight even at the young age of 16. Like you were thinking about 20 years down the line. You were thinking about the network. You were thinking about the alumni. You were thinking about the connections. You were thinking about, hey, I'm young. This next year, going here is going to help me with my body, my mind. It's going to help me help to prepare me. So it was great, man. So many people don't look 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line. You were looking 20 years down the line, which is incredible, man. Incredible. So yeah, so you went to Drexel University, right? So let's just talk about your time at Drexel.
My time at Drexel, I loved it. I loved college. I had a great college experience. Yeah, from top to bottom, I was there. I played for Bruiser Flint. The only thing, and I love Bruiser to this day. There's so much of his philosophy that goes into my mentorship and my development. But when I was there, it was just another level of intensity, another level of you have to bring it every day, and having somebody who will hold you accountable, call you out your name to put a fire under you and make you the best version of yourself. I chose Drexel. One academic was top 100 academic university. Of course, academics were major. I think like I was getting recruited by Ivy League schools as well, UPenn, Cornell. For football, I got offered from Columbia. But I knew I wanted to, once I decided, because I didn't decide that I wanted to play college basketball until my senior year at university. So where I'm just like, you know what? I think I'll have a longer path, because again, at this time I had a lot of, I was getting recruited by a lot of major, higher football recruit than basketball recruit, Syracuse, Boston College. But again, I was 185 pounds too. Every college, every football was like, you're gonna have to redshirt. We're gonna put some weight on you. You're gonna sit out. And then I'm like, all right, gotta bang every day. I'm like, and I'm trying to tell you that ACC football, that's you know what I mean. When you gotta go against Miami, you know what I mean, and then the next week you're going against Florida State, and they say hike, and it's that every play. And, I'm mentally, I'm there. Mentally, I was there. Like, I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, man, the Florida boys, Derrick Henry from Florida, he was 240 as a sophomore in high school. So, like, it was a little bit different. I'm like, they call that making a business decision. So,
yeah, that was a real business decision.
Yeah,
You're like, man, I'm not going to put my body through all that way and tear.
You know, you one play away. In football, you're one play away from not playing. So I knew Drexel, just feeling. I visited other schools. I had offers from a few bigger schools, like Providence College and Penn State, but I knew that I didn't want to go to a school that was kind of like a traditional campus where like, oh, there's a college town where there's nothing else to do. Like, I'm visiting Penn State. You know what I mean? I'm just like, all right, we're going to have to play Michigan. Then the next game we play Michigan State, and we're going to get rolled. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is a football school. This is like, this is Penn State, like top 10.
Right.
So like, nobody really cares about basketball. Like, you know, Drexel didn't have a football team. So the basketball team was the big men on campus. My first game, I played on ESPN. You know, I played in New Jersey. In my first game in college at Drexel was in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, 4 minutes from Lawrenceville Prep on ESPN. And I was out there. You know what I mean? I wasn't on the bench. I was out there. My first 2 points in college was a dunk. You feel? I'm like on ESPN. You know what I mean? So I'm like my freshman year, we won. We had the longest win streak in the country. We won 19 games straight. We didn't lose for 3 months. So like when I say just entering college, and I'm like, oh, this the whole city like was buzzing. We were on TV, the campus, like all our games sold out. So I'm like, this is I was riding a high. So like I knew that I made the right choice, like one for where you're supposed to be. And when a lot of kids are making decisions for college, like don't make a decision based on the basketball team, because guess what? That coach will leave you. That coach will leave the next day. Somebody come in and double his salary and won't say good and will say it was nice seeing you. You know what I mean?
See
So
ya.
it's, you know what I mean? Or you're in a place where you don't like the campus, you're not connected, you don't get that family environment. So I knew Drexel was just the right overall fit, from an academic standpoint, a social standpoint, being right in Philadelphia, the smack dab in Philadelphia. The train station, Amtrak station, was on our campus. The mega bus station was on our campus. The boat bus station was on our campus. So I had friends coming up all the time. You know, if I wanted to go quick trip to DC, I'll get on a bus, mega bus, $10, go to DC for a couple days, come back. So just it was a great experience overall. And one thing that I haven't shared publicly, like, because we never put it out in the media or anything. So really only the people who are on Drexel knew. I almost died my freshman year. So I had a near-death experience, which kind of changed my mindset. So my freshman, I'm getting good playing time. And this is probably, I would say probably halfway through the season, like my feet, my toes start tingling. I'm like, this is weird. Not like just constant, you know, wake up one day. I'm like, all right, that's weird. And day after day, it's just kind of progressing. And now like my fingers are tingling after a week. So now, and then like I'm telling I was a jokester too, you know what I mean? I'm always keep it lighthearted and things like that. So I'm telling the coaching staff, I'm telling the training staff, like, yo, I can't feel my toes, this, that, and the third, like my hand. They like, all right, cool. I'm like, each day I'm still trying to practice, but one thing I've noticed, I'm like, I can't run. Like my motor, I'm trying to run. I'm not going. I'm trying to jump. I can't get off the ground. And like my coaches think I'm just playing. Like I'm like, bro, like I'm trying to tell y'all like something is wrong. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I wake up one day, one morning. My roommate already went to class, so I'm in an apartment by myself. Boom. So I wake up, try to get out of bed. I just fall straight to the floor. Right?
What?
Like my legs don't work. So I'm like looking around, looking down, trying to get up. Nobody's there to help. I'm like, you're gonna have to get up, my boy. Like nobody, like, so I'm able to climb onto the bed, grab my phone. I call our trainer. I'm like, take me to the hospital right now. So boom, like he comes in the apartment, he carries me to the car. We go down to our hospital downtown Philly. So they get me checked in, and every day I'm in the hospital getting worse. Every single day. Like I've lost 40 pounds. I can't walk. I'm 18 with a walker. I can't walk. I need help getting to the bathroom by the nurse. And each day, they're bringing in different doctors. Nobody's telling me anything was wrong. They're doing every test in the book, CAT scans, spinal taps, draining fluid. Like, and I got to a point, I was like, probably in the hospital another 2 weeks, still getting worse. I'm like,
what?
There was one night, I'm like, my mom, family coming down. Like I see myself, like I physically don't even look like myself. It was like one night, I'm just like, I'm having nightmares. I'm just in constant pain. They draining my spine, taking fluid. Like a spinal tap is no joke. So I'm in pain, can't sleep, having nightmares. I'm just like it's probably 3, 4 in the morning. I'm like, God, you could take me. I'm good. Like, I'm good. Like, if this is my time, it's my time. Like, and just going from like being such a strong, superior athlete, 40-inch vert, and a few weeks later not being able to walk, lost 40 pounds. And then the literally a few hours later after, like, I'm just praying, probably like 7, 8 in the morning, like a whole team of neurologists, like a whole team's come in, like, and they like, I think we know what's wrong. They're like, we're gonna run a couple tests, but we're gonna just start the treatment plan regardless. So I have Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is a rare autoimmune syndrome. Like, there's no cure for it. It's very rare, and it's really only been seen in people, like 55 and older, mostly like in women. It's when your immune system starts attacking your nervous system. So my immune system was viewing my nervous system as a foreign entity. So that's why, like, I couldn't walk. Like, my nerve, they're just getting beat up every day because my body is saying that there's something here that shouldn't be here.
Right.
So I go through a bunch of different treatments. Like, I'm like, I'm getting treatments. I'm doing full plasmapheresis. So it's basically like dialysis. They take all the blood out. They basically take the blood out. They spin it through a machine, separate the plasma and white blood cells, and then re-enter your blood back in. So I'm doing this every day for weeks, getting injections and things like that. And like, the only people who know is like my immediate family and the basketball team. Like, nobody knows. We just, the media communications team does what they do to make sure things don't get out or whatever. And like, after I'm doing treatment, I'm like, yo, doc, like I'm gonna be like, when can I play again? And he like, play what?
Really?
Yeah, they like, dude, like, how about we worry about you walking and being able to like hold a pencil so you can do some schoolwork. Like,
wow.
That shit, I'm like, bruh.
I had no idea, man.
Yeah. I like, and I'm in my 30s. Like, I think it's important. Like, it's important to hear. Like, who wants to, be a teenager telling people you have a immune syndrome that's not curable. Like, so I mean, I basically already knew. For me, I'm like, even like the NBA's out. Like, what I mean? That's not even an option. Like, this is on my medical record. It's an automatic no. Like, and this is like, again, this is also 15 years ago. What I mean? Even just so far, how far medicine has advanced today and things like that, and early detection. And, like, even me being one of the cases, like, this is a case that they talk about, a study that they talk about when they're bringing in new doctors now, and things like that. So I kind of had a mindset change after I got out the hospital. I'm just like, I started living every day is like, I'm living life to the fullest. I'm not living life with any regrets. Like, life is not promised tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm going to get back. Like, having a doctor tell you, like, what do you mean? A year ago, like, I'm like one of the top recruits in the state. I'm like, what do you mean? And now you're telling me I'm not. I might not walk again. I might not play basketball again. I'm like, yo, they gonna take my scholarship? Everything is going through my mind. I'm like, you know what? All you could do is grunt. You got to work and get back. So every day I'm going through physical therapy, getting treatments, like pushing my body to the extreme to get back to be able to play. for the season. And fortunately, like, God willing, like by my sophomore year, so I'll probably shut it down in February. By October, I was cleared to play. October, the doctors cleared me to play. So, and I was not by any means 100% physically back. Like, I was still underweight, and like they got me playing the 4. I'm like not even 200 pounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just having a bang. I'm just happy to be out there. I don't care. Like, yeah, I'm just
I'm happy to be out there running.
I'm happy to be out here running. Like, I got legs. I got my legs back. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until like over a year, like that sophomore season, I wasn't healthy. Like, I wasn't nowhere near healthy. It wasn't until like another summer of training, another year, until my junior year, where like I physically felt back to normal. Like, and again, like it's not something like it's not curable, so it's not like you'll ever get back to 100%. But I'm like, I can get back to like close enough to where I'm good. So like my junior year, like that's when things really took off. I'm like, okay, now we playing against Arizona in the Garden. We playing against Alabama in the Garden, sold out crowd. Like, I'm feeling good, feeling good about myself. Getting doubles, killing. We like injuries happen again. One, you just also you're with this, you're more, especially lower extremities and things, like with the like you're more susceptible to injuries. Like, there was one, we went down to Southern Miss. So like one, we was feeling, so we got off to a good start junior year, and we went down to Southern Mississippi. One, they were cheating. I'm just gonna start with that too. They got sanctioned because they had people on their team who wasn't supposed to be there, right? Wow. So one, and it was like something felt off. Like, two, like when they came out, I'm like, yo, these is grown men. Like, I'm like, you know what I mean? And one, like, I'm back to what, and we got like, it ain't like we little, but I'm like, when I say like two, I'm like, I don't think I've been like, I felt like physically dominated. Like I'm like, yo, nah, something's off. So like our coach was just furious, like how we just got bored. Like, we on like, like one is probably 5 minutes left in the game. They take the starters. I'm looking at my man. It's like, yo, we gotta get on them weights, bro. I don't know what they doing down here in Mississippi. Environment hostile. Like, this is Southern Mississippi. Racist comments from the thing, all that. Like, and the next day, one, it was a snowstorm back in Philly, so we couldn't fly back into Philly or whatever. So coach was like, all right, we're flying out of New Orleans. Coach was like, all right, we about to practice. Like, we not shooting, not a basketball. We just doing straight toughness drill. One of my little freshmen, over eager, dive on a ball. I'm like, bro, just dive straight into my knee, right? Oh, bam. I'm like, yo, this guy, like, I'm having great, best season of that. I'm like, I'm good. Out for like 3 weeks. I come back, start hooping again. 2 months later, February, break my hand. I have a plate. What? I have a plate and 10 screws in my hand. Right?
Yo.
So I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, this is out for the season. Right?
Oh my God.
My hand heals up, right? And now we're probably like April, 2 months. Doc was like, yeah, 6 to 8 weeks. So they put a plate in it, screws, they like heal. And then, like, you can start like doing workouts again. 2-3 workouts in the spring workout, non-contact injury. We just, throwing the ball off the rim, go get it, outlet pass, ACL torn. Like, soon as it happened, I haven't felt pain like that before. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was done. I knew what time it was. I'm like, you don't even got to tell me what this is. MCL, ACL, completely gone, right? So now I'm gearing up for my senior year. I'm ready, like, you know what I mean, ready to go. I'm like, let's get back on track. And like, yeah, my boy, he got surgery. And that's when I kind of like, that's when, you know, when now mental health is a big thing now. It's publicized. Again, this is years ago. Like mental health, Black men, that didn't exist. Like there was nobody
Right.
you go talk to. And I'm just like, you don't really feel kind of like, you know, I got surgery, and then like I was like, let me do some I basically I withdrew from that term or whatever. So I'm like, let me go back so I can train at the Jets facility. So I was like rehabbing like with Plexico bursts and like things up here. So I was like, let me get an early start on this, like get the rehab. I got the surgery done down in Philly, but I'm like, I'm gonna rehab the first couple months, like at training facilities out here. So I started working my way back, and I just like I knew I could have came back, and like I was kind of pushed. My senior year, we were having a bad year. I didn't play like this was. I didn't play like a lot of players have left by now too. You know what I mean? Same situation where, you know, it was at university. I'm like, oh, it's my senior year team. Like I'm captain, all that. And they kind of started my progress, my strength. I was really like, my strength was good. So like I got cleared to kind of like go back to like full contact kind of like December, January. But we were doing bad. Like they kind of was trying to push me to come back and play. So like one, I was like, I would do practice, whatever, and I would still have my thing. But like one, my stamina, my wind, like you can't reenact basketball no matter how much you do, like just the contact, like you can't do it. So like I knew I wasn't in shit. I'm like, I'm not about to play half my senior year, lose a year of eligibility, graduate, and then I definitely can't go pro. Like, what you want me to work at? Like, I got to work at nah. So a lot of rifts between the team now. Like mentally, I'm kind of like checked out, isolate myself from the team. You know what I'm saying? Not hanging out with anybody, just kind of just like living like a regular college student and just like to myself. And you just, you know, when you're like have like depression and things like that, you don't really know it while you're in it.
No,
you just
not
know
at
that
all.
you don't really just have joy. Like I didn't have joy on a day-to-day basis. Like things didn't fulfill. Like you try to fulfill that joy in other ways, that basketball, like, you know what I mean? Try to fill that void and it just doesn't work. So
Now,
like just go.
now, how long was that process? Basically, when you realized, man, they wanted to push you to play December, you know, January, and you just was like, all right, I'm shutting it down. So you shut it down for the remainder of the year for basketball, and then was able to basically get a medical red shirt year.
Yeah, so I was like, I can't play. I was like, I know if I come back in January, that's my last year of eligibility, and I'm gone. But like the coaching staff was like, oh yeah, you know, we need you. We doing good. We about to start conference play, this, that, and the third. And like we had already agreed on before, like I'm not playing this season. You know what I'm saying? Because I tore my ACL in the spring. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not like now 6 months later, so y'all trying to force me to come back. I'm out of shape and things like that. And they like, yeah, well, you know, this is what you're gonna have to do. I said, this who gonna have to
We're
do?
going to do right.
So I left the team. Like I was going to transfer. Like I was planning on transferring to get my grad year. I had schools like a couple, like other schools was calling because, like I said, my junior year, like people have known, like I was already on ESPN. We played good. Like I think like Buzz Williams had left like UNC Wilmington and went to Virginia Tech, who was in our conference. So like he knows me, I could play. So I was I'm like, oh, and this is when like kind of like that grad year transfer where people kind of you can go play. It was starting kind of picking up and getting popular. So I was going to be out. So like I really wasn't with the team at all. Like I was just a normal college student because like I just feel like you aren't really y'all really not looking out for my well-being. Y'all are trying to look out for y'all well-being.
Y'all well
And
being.
this is,
Yeah, that
you know
was
what I'm
all.
saying?
They only cared about their record, team performance, and they
Because
like,
y'all
yo, when
getting
our best
pressure.
players, we trying. Yeah, y'all getting pressure, so you trying to bring them back. But it's like, yo, you trying to bring them back for like 2 months. Like, what we talking about here? Like, this is that didn't make any sense. So it's like, yo, that's the other part. Like in terms of
Yeah,
like
people,
having smart,
there's stuff with
intelligent.
basketball people don't tell you about because you know what I mean. If I wasn't already prepped to see like a future and thinking 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, some people are like, oh yeah, no, anything for the team.
Nah,
Nah, not anything for the
not
team. Like,
anything for the team, right?
because
Right.
the team ain't doing anything for me. Y'all put me in a bad situation. So, I ended up, we ended up reconciling, at the end of the basketball season. Like, as I'm like, schools is calling, I'm like, all right, boom, I'm just prepping to graduate. I'm out. My mentality's out. Like, my mom, like, yo, we out. So like, coaching staff driving to Jersey too, like trying to have meetings and things like that. But then like my heart was always a Drexel Dragon. Like my roommate, he had redshirted our freshman year. He broke his foot, so he was coming back for that year. And that was my right hand man. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just do one more year, finish it out, get my graduate degree. I started grad school 10 days after I graduated. So I got my Bachelor of Science in Sport Management. And then I enrolled right into grad school. And I ended up getting my master's in hospitality management for that. So I was fortunate enough to, senior year was real good, played every game. We weren't doing that good as a team. There was just like a lot of rifts and things like that. But I was playing pretty well for the most part. And two, agents reaching out during the season, things like that. So I'm like, okay, I know I got a shot to go pro. Like my teammates each year, one of the reasons why I chose Drexel, I'm like, because of the track record that they have. I'm like, I know I should be able to. I'll at least get an opportunity, whether it happens or not, of playing professional basketball. But I'll get a look at least to have an opportunity coming from this school. So that's
That's
kind of
dope.
like, yeah. So like that's kind of how my Drexel career it's ups and downs, man. Everything is not glitz and glamour. Dealing with mental health, physical injuries, tearing ACLs. My jaw got dislocated, like broken hand, illness. So like, things look peachy on the outside, but you don't really necessarily see everybody's day-to-day struggles or year-to-year struggles if they're not publicized. I'm not the guy who, like, who's on Instagram was just getting popped. Like, I'm not a huge social media guy. When the Instagram came, I'm like, oh, this is dumb. I'm like, when Twitter came, I'm like, oh, this is dumb. I'm like, so I eventually started using this stuff just because it just became so popular. But I don't know. I was just like an old school person. I'm like, yo, don't need people in your business. Keep your head down. Keep doing what you need to do and just work. So most people didn't see my down points. They just see, all the good stuff. Like, oh, you just graduated. You got your master's degree. You went to Lawrenceville. You about to go play pro ball and things like that. But they don't understand that like it's life is ups and downs, there's peaks and valleys, and you have to be prepared mentally and physically, like to know that something is going to happen that you can't
It's
control. Like
facts.
that's just life, you know what I mean? That you can't control. But when it does happen, are you prepared to do it? Like, my college coaches used to say the pressure is not to perform, the pressure is to prepare. So like if you're when the lights come on, if you done put in the
Yeah.
work in the gym when nobody around, it's gonna be easy. But if you want to
Mhm.
fake things, and like a lot of these kids are just more so like you more worried about your brand, you're more worried about your Instagram followers, posting a little highlight reel. like, dude, you had 6 points. You showed your 3 baskets and was just feeding into the comments. Like, you know what I mean? Just the focus level is different now. So, like, I knew I just had to, get prepared. And once I was blessed to, to get the opportunity to play professional basketball after finishing grad school, I'm like, this is a cherry on top. A few years ago, I was a teenager using a walker. You know what I mean? And now I got 2 degrees, and now I could get on a flight to Europe for the free, play pro ball, get money in my pocket. I said, oh yeah, like, you know what I mean? That's just a blessing, and God, trusting in God's plan and the path and
that
putting
5
in the work.
years. That 5 years, man. I mean, just listening to the story, that 5 years of your life, in college, from the autoimmune disease to the injuries to kind of nonsense with the staff, the coaches, and then recovering, and then, bruh, I mean, you talking about ups and downs. You're 100% correct. A lot of people only see the ups for the most part. They don't see the downs. They don't know those dark moments. They don't know when you sitting in that college dorm room trying to figure out, like, yo, what I'm gonna do next? Because right now, I physically can't do this. I'm like, what's going on? It's so much that goes into it, and that's why when people never really played at a high level or really went through this, it's like it's literally apples and oranges to compare to, like, certain things. It's like, yo, when you talk to athletes, a lot of them go through, especially when I go through a lot. And emotionally, mentally, it can be very, very tough. Yeah. But in your case, you went through these times, and when you sit back and think about what you said, preparation, all this was really challenging times, adversity, where you were able to, bounce back. And you bounced back, and then still was able to play overseas. And a lot of people don't understand, like, to play professional basketball is extremely tough. It's super competitive because you got a million other cats out there trying to get paid to play the game they've been playing for. Man, listen.
They don't understand that, girl. They think it's sweet over there. Hey, boy, they'll have you on that plane right back to America within that first month.
Yo, that first month, you're not performing. You ain't meeting their expectations. And they'll tell you, like, we need this, we need that. And you ain't meeting those expectations, yo. They gonna have somebody there within 3 weeks practicing to see if they about to take your spot. It's no games.
You ain't gonna know your cut until you see another American walk in the gym for practice, and then you get a call up, say, "Oh, can I see you upstairs real quick before practice?"
Yep.
Yeah, you're going home. Right? You know what I mean? They like, yo, we need to get that packed up. We need that apartment, my boy.
Yes, we need to get that. Yeah, we need to get them clean that out because we got somebody else coming in there.
Like, shoot, after that first month, like we got once the season starts. So I already know, like, how it work, bro. People getting cut in August during training camp. Americans, like, somebody getting sent home. And then in October, we already know, especially if your team got off to a bad start, and this is something like you kind of learn, like, when you get a couple years under your belt, you looking around another American, I'm like, hey, bro, somebody going home, and it's gonna be one of us. So, like, easy.
That's real.
That Christmas break, guess what, my boy? Like, you think these contracts, you're getting sent home. Like, if you don't fulfill, like, this is not the NBA guarantee contract. Don't even worry. We'll pack your bags, but we'll take you to the airport. Thank you, Duncan, for your service.
Yes. And it's part of the game, man. And a lot of people don't realize, like, when you playing overseas and you get sent home, you like, yo, with the agent, you like, yo, man, I gotta get another gig because this is how I'm making my money. So it's like, yo, I might have maybe 2 or 3 months to hold me, but yo, I gotta get another gig soon. Because it's
ASAP.
like that. It's real. It's real. It's real.
And then especially if you're not, resumes are huge over there. You know what I mean? Resumes are huge. A lot of times, like, it be dudes who trash, but they came from Kansas, so they gonna get another opportunity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or
Facts.
somebody, or if they've already played over there for 6, 7 years, or you know, they might have dominated in one country, went to this country, didn't do well. They get cut, but somebody gonna call from that country, another team in the league, like, yo, we'll take you. Things like that. You a rookie, you year 2. A lot of people don't get that second call. A lot of people, and that don't matter who you were, don't matter how much you averaged in college. I know people D1 average 17 a game in college, cut. I didn't see my rookie year. I played in Germany. I played for Rasta Vectors in the BBL.
I'm familiar.
It's like, yeah.
Yep.
So what I've had a former NBA player leading the country, leading the league in assists. They do not care, bro.
No,
they
sir.
don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a ruthless game out there. And you just got to be mentally prepared to bring it every day.
Yeah.
Like, that Cooley and stuff you might could have, you think, when you in college, you could think you could cruise, or you don't got to show up every day. Nah, man. And also, don't think people over there can't hoop. Yeah. And now I'm glad so many people see these now when we got an NBA half full of international players. Now y'all see who the leagues that these people played in before they came. This is where they was playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this the league Dirk Nowitzki played in, like, before he came in. Like, this. Don't think just because they German or like, did you see the France national team? Like, all them people played in the French league before they, you know what I mean, made it to the NBA. So don't think the competition is sweet over there, and it's a different style of basketball. My third year, another player was a college All-American, went to Michigan State. He was leading the league in scoring. Our coach didn't care. You're going to play my way, or you are out of here.
Out of here.
And he was out of there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people can just, you can't really tell people. Sometimes people just got to experience it for themselves, man. So,
if they ever get to that level, if they ever get to that level,
because, you know, like, just to even have a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year career, you know, is a blessing, because it's the grind. And then each year your contract up. So now in the summer, like, you go home in May, season over, your agent might not call you till August.
Facts.
You know, it might not call you till September. So, like, you better hope that you were saving up.
Yes.
Now you unemployed for the summer, and, you know, you coming back. You know, people think like, oh yeah, now you getting money overseas, but, you know what I mean, you go out a few times, take a, you know what I mean, you ain't seen this person, like, oh yeah, nah, we do a little trip. You're like, you've been like, I ain't been to Miami all year. I was over there. And yeah, sound good. There's a lot of people out there scrapping and scraping. Come June, July, you know what I mean? And another thing for me too, again, I've always thought ahead. So I knew I didn't want to be a person who gets to my 30s and the only thing on my resume just says professional basketball player.
Facts.
And now you in your 30s, you don't have any job experience. You don't have, you know what I mean? You're already behind the 8 ball, because your peers, they started working at Morgan Stanley when they 23. So now, you know what I mean, you was a pro ball player, you did that. Now you 32, they got 10 years in the workforce. They already a senior, you know what I mean? They already a senior associate, already a manager in the finance field or a pharmaceutical field, whatever, and you 32, and all you could say for yourself is you played basketball. They don't like the real life workforce. Don't like it. It can help you have some transferable skills in terms of communication, leadership, things like that. But if that resume is blank, like what do you want me to do? Or you're gonna have to take this $30,000 entry level job. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
that's real. No, that's real.
That's getting taxed and getting
That's getting
Social
taxed.
Security taken out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I already knew. I'm like, all right, when I come home, boom, I'm gonna do something at least. You know what I mean? Even if it's 2 months, you know what I'm saying, or do something in my field, either the sports field or hospitality field. So whenever that day comes, when I do decide to pivot and transition from professional basketball, I have different work experience on my resume. So I don't have to take a $30,000, $40,000 job once I'm done playing professional basketball. So again, a lot of people and I have a lot of teammates, and you already know how hard it is just for athletes to that transition to real life. It hits people harder. It hits some people harder than others. I know people who've gone through years of depression or go through don't figure out a career path until 8 years later. You know what I mean? Be 35, 40 years old and just haven't figured it out yet because they just think basketball is ball is life. Okay, yeah. If ball is life, learn the business of basketball.
Yes.
Learn the business of basketball. Don't, you know what I mean? Because if you get who's cutting your checks? How did they get to where they are? What do you understand the systems level of what it takes to run a team, to have 30, 40 full-time staff members paid? You know what a payroll looks like, you know, like things like that. So if you're gonna make ball life, how about you actually make it and it's not just you shooting a basketball, is you putting your mind to work and understanding how basketball, the business of basketball actually works. So that's something I'll try to share all the time.
No, but that is so key. I mean, I could tell you when I was playing, I wish I would have had that type of mentality in terms of, hey, why are you doing this and why are you with this organization? Sit down and have some meetings. Sit down and figure out like how does this work and things of that nature. I learned a little bit about it after playing basketball, but in terms of why you're in it, that's the real education. That's the real education because you're not the ball's going to stop bouncing, right? You ain't going to be
100% for everybody. For everybody.
For everybody. You know, Father Time is undefeated. You know, so I mean, when you talk about the pivot, right? The pivot, man, I got to tell you, man, I'm going to just say first and foremost, I'm so proud of, I know your Umi, I know your pops, so proud of where you are now today. I know you're up in Boston now. And I mean, you're collaborating with the Boston public schools. You got the Prove Them Wrong program and also the Gathering Initiative. Can you just talk a little bit about those two programs?
Yes. So with all that, so right now I am working with community schools. I'm a partner working with community schools up here in Boston. So Community Hub Schools is a new strategy. It was a pilot strategy initiated just a few years ago. It's only in year 4. And it's really kind of changing. Boston is the oldest public school system in America. So there's the oldest school in America. It still exists today. The Mather School has been around for hundreds of years, and that's one of our community schools, one of the schools I work with. And really, we want to kind of break that traditional old friggin' racist traditions of the school system that have been just embedded in our country for hundreds of years. So now it's like, as a community school now, you know, a lot of schools don't want people to come in their schools and things like that. No, the community, you can come in the school. We need you. Help us make decisions. So I go out talk to different business owners, talk to community stakeholders, and ask them what do they think, what initiatives, or how you've been in this neighborhood for 30 years. What has changed? What has changed for the better? What has changed for the worse? I find funding and then kind of put programs and partnerships together with the schools to make sure that not only just the students, but the school community, families, staff, can all have all the resources holistically that they need.
Awesome.
Finding partners now, instead of, where the principal's the person making the decisions. No, that's not how we're working anymore. You know what? That parent gets to say so. Now let's put it to a vote. Now the teachers can have some say so. Now the Jim who works at the bodega, who's been in your community that y'all go to and spend money with for the last 10 years, he can have a say so in what they want their school and their community to look like. So that's one of the things I've been doing. So just really being boots on the ground, making transformative relationships, not just transactional relationships. And
you dropping gems.
Yeah, man, sometimes it be going over people's heads, man.
Absolutely.
So and that's do prove them wrong. Is a basketball basketball training and mentoring program where it's about holistics. Like we're not just creating better basketball players, but better people, and making sure that you are prepared for life, making sure that you understand a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about is what I'm instilling, making sure you're prepared. Think about what you want to do 10 years from now and have a goals. How are you going to get there? Are you going to use basketball as a tool to help you get there? Are you going to use basketball? Are you going to let basketball use you? Because one thing I know, once it's done with you, it's going to throw you to the wayside. Look at all these NBA players. Look at who you don't hear about one now until they on shaving with some for either getting arrested or going bankrupt. And now people want to talk about it. Nobody cares about that. So just whatever you're really having that mentorship aspect and offer more than basketball, speed training, strength training, mental toughness, like mental training, and working with these kids to push wherever they go. And you're just using basketball as a tool, and just working with the youth. I enjoy it. There was so much poured into me. So many adults like yourself took the time, when I was 14, 15 to pour knowledge into me and take that time to help me get to where I need to be. It's only right that I do the same. And that's some of the things that I'm doing as well with the Gathering. So the Gathering is a new initiative that is, we take Boston public school students and introduce them to out of school exploration. And a lot of this, again, stems from, like I was saying before, my experiences. My school in St. Philip, like when I was at St. Philip, we went to the Poconos to do a ski trip. So in 3rd and 4th grade, I'm learning how to ski. And that's not normal for a kid from Newark. But guess what? We gonna do the same thing. For Black History Month, I took 22 young men up to the Berkshires, nice vacation land resort. We're gonna do snow tubing. We're gonna get you ski lessons. Not one of them had ever skied before. Everybody walked away with a wonderful experience. Like, I loved it. Can we do this again? HBCU tours. So I partner each year we take a group of 35 young men, because HBCUs aren't as popular in the North, especially up here in Boston and in the Northeast region, this New England region, where it's the education capital of the world. Harvard, MIT, Dartmouth, Brown, all of that stuff is, up here. So a lot of people, and even a lot of Black people too, just don't kind of see the value, because culturally it's not like HBCU culture is not big up here, where they don't see the value. I'm like, okay, so you want me to go past UMass, go past UConn, Dartmouth, all that to go to a school in Alabama? Like, they, you know what I mean? So it's not, but they just don't understand. They don't understand. Boston is still a white city. You know what I mean? It's still a white, but it's a white city that only has 10% of white students in its public school system.
Oh, wow.
It's a predominantly white city that only in 80% of that 10% go to 3 schools, like the exam schools, the Boston Latins that's been around since the 1800s, the 1700, the Boston English, you know, Barton Latin, like those type of schools, the exam schools, where you'll see that demographic of students going to, and so they're not really caring about the students that, you know, really that I'm working with. So taking them to HBCU tour and connecting with my fraternity brothers on each of these campuses to give the tour. So now we're not having no just a random admissions officer giving you a tour. No, you're going to get to talk to a person who is only a couple years older than you, 2-3 years old. Or he was just a freshman. He's a freshman now. He was just a high schooler. Like y'all the same age. You can actually ask him the real. What's the parties like? How hard is school? Like what's the real financial aid talking about? Like questions where they can feel comfortable, and then having you know, just brothers pour into them, into their career paths, and kind of really talk to them, teach them about the history of the fraternity and just about Black male brotherhood and things like that. To NASA, we do a yearly NASA trip. They get to meet the STEM exploration, get to meet astronauts, go to Cape Canaveral, see actual rockets, see how they're built, the mechanical engineering, the aerospace engineering, the things that, like, what it takes to be an astronaut, making things tangible. When things are tangible, when somebody can touch it, when somebody can feel it, when somebody can sense it, they think it's real. Because it's easy to read about it in a book or whatever and be like, man, ain't nobody doing that. Don't nobody do that for me. Like, nah, let's hop on. Kids never been on a plane before. Now we stand in the, like, now, you know what I mean? Now we take 20 kids down there. Now this is their first time staying in an 18-bedroom mansion. You know what I mean? With a pool. You know what I mean? Making sure we get the funding and the resources and the partners to make sure that these young men get every opportunity that should be happening to them. You know, right now, you know, gearing up for another school year, we're in the works of taking these boys to Africa. You know, I also, for me, and for February break, and for me, a lot of this stuff and the idea and stuff, I'm there too. I'm making sure I'm having fun. Don't think I'm about to be on a boring trip and having we about to.
Right.
We're having fun. Like
we're gonna enjoy this trip. We're gonna enjoy this experience.
We're gonna enjoy this experience together. You know what I mean? And taking them to their, you know, having them dress up, taking them to steakhouses. You know what I mean? Like, just making sure they get that experience and know this is normal. This is normal. This is normal. It might not feel like it now, but this is all the tools, and we're here kind of surrounding you and to pour into you, to give you all the resources you need to be successful. Just came back from 2 weeks ago, came back from Detroit. My fraternity has a international youth leadership conference, and a STEM conference. So took some young men from Boston to Detroit. They were able to meet other teenage young boys who are getting mentored from Florida, from LA, from Michigan, like all in one place, and understanding, like, pouring into them, like, you guys are our future leaders. We're looking like, you know what I mean? When we get older, when you guys are going to be the ones making the decisions for us. You know what I mean? And we need to instill that and kind of teach them and give them an opportunity. I've never been to Detroit. You know what I mean? So I'm you know, like, we out. Come on, we you know what I mean?
Let's do it.
It's the diligence of, you know, getting funding. So this is, you know what I mean, getting funding, talking to different people. We give away thousands of dollars of scholarship to these young men. I took them on a tour to Harvard. You know what I mean? We go on our HBCU tours to HBCU tour. We doing the same thing on the other end. Whatever you want. This is both real. If you want to go to Harvard, like, people think Harvard like people think of Hogwarts when they think of Harvard. Like it's a mythical place. Like it's a place you hear about, you read about, but like it just really doesn't exist. You never like, is it real? Like you hear the mystique about it and things like that. Nah, come on. We get a busload, drop the kids off. Y'all rock it with me. We're gonna show you all around campus. I'm gonna have different people from the law school come talk to you. You want to be a lawyer? Here, talk to. This is somebody. We got somebody in business. You want your own business? Here, come, hey Johnny, I need you to come talk to these kids here. You know what I mean? We got some young entrepreneurs on the rise, pouring into so that they can see other Black people in these spaces who look like them. You know what I mean? A lot of times, like
that's so important.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, right, it's not, don't think like, you know what I mean? You gotta have the button preppy up, you gotta, you know what I mean, be just straight at. I'm like, nah, dude, like I got dreads and 50 tattoos. Like I walk into these spaces like I own the place. You know what I mean? If you're uncomfortable with me being here, you're in the wrong place. You leave the room. Cause it's my room now. Like, so just making sure, like, you know, when you making sure that they're comfortable when you walk in a place, you have your head held high. You look a man in the eye, introduce yourself, firm handshake, speak with pride and confidence, and just really is important to instill that in those these young men and in our young ladies as well. You know what I mean? As well, we having a spin-off like just this year having a girl version of the gathering called the convening. But you know, they learn about different things and have group leaders for them.
Nice.
You know, so you know, we definitely never can forget about our young ladies. You know, with the Black women raise Black men. You know what I'm saying? So we're not making sure that their mindset is where it needs to be. We're setting ourselves up for failure. You know, so
without a doubt,
really just thinking of things from a holistic, teaching about hygiene, sexual health, everything, how to fill out a college application, how men talk to other men, how men talk to women, like, you know what I mean? And just being a pillar and a leader in your community and what that looks like. Talk about community activism, you know what I mean? And just empowering them in whatever they want to do. So that's really like, as I just continue to gear and just think about my future it's bright, and it's bright for me because I see that it's bright for our youth, and that's what keeps me young. That's what picks me up every day. Where I wake up, I'm like, how can I get better today? What do I need to do to get better today? Because I can't sit here and tell these people like to do that. I can't train my kids. I can't tell my kids to get up and run sprints if I'm not the one getting up and running sprints in the morning. You know what I mean? Like I get up at 6 a.m. to go run. You can run too. If I can do it, you can do it. I can't say, oh, focus on school and academics are important, and I'm not at Harvard setting the bar. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's really what pushes me and drives me, and just know that it's a lot. Like I'm just getting started. I'm just like, again, like if you would have told me, you know, 3 years ago that I was still playing pro ball and that, you know, I would be doing all these things, and, you know, Harvard graduate and having these youth programs, taking kids all over the country. Like I could believe it because I know it's destined for me, but even as I'm doing it now and living on it every day, like it's hard to not be like looking like, yo, like I was sitting there talking to myself, like, yo, look, we was in I was ready to check out. I was ready. I told God, take me. Look, now he said, nah, I got a bigger plan for you. I got a bigger plan for you. So yeah, it's been a blessing. It's to live this life, and I know that I'm blessed, and my blessings come from blessing other people, and just being that example, not just, you know, talking about it and being about. We all got the old heads in the hood who, yo, do this, do that. You know what I mean? They drunk as hell. I'm like, yo, old head, it's 10 a.m. Like you got 3 beer cans next to you trying to tell me what I, and old head might know what he's talking about.
He's talking, but he ain't showing an example of it. He just talking.
Exactly. So you know what I mean? Kids, I'm like, man, go ahead somewhere. Old head, like I'm gonna do it now. But if they see another black man who's presentable, who can walk into the room and they can see themselves in them, like, yo, I want to be like that guy. I want to do that. If he could do it, I could do it. And I'll show you how to do it. Like, you know what I mean? I called my boy. I called Derek. I got into Harvard. I called Derek, Jared, Tyree. I said, hey, yo, we just got into Harvard, bro. I was like, look, we in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole Newark is here now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Fire.
All the information that I learned. This is one thing that you can't gatekeep. Information is, I mean, colleges, they charge you to get that information, but guess what? Like I said, I know it's not. I have friends who I know aren't going to have the opportunity. So whatever knowledge I get from here, I'm sharing it with you. I'm like, my network, when I can go in these rooms, when I can go to these network meetings, these exclusive meetings, or I can go have lunch at the Harvard Club and things like that. Hey, yo, we at the Harvard Club. Yo, get dressed, put a low collar shirt on. Yo, we about to have lunch at the club. You know what I mean? Like, see what this is. Like, oh, yo, James, I want you to meet my friend. Oh, yeah. This is that. Make that connection. Yeah, I actually do the same thing. He said he was in finance too. Like, putting other people in positions. That network, man, the network is real. Like the Harvard network is real. The Ivy League network connection is real. Where they like there's these rooms like you hear about them, like they exist.
They exist.
These being in a room like with even being just in a place where professors like push you to think bigger, to think like, nah, that's it. You can do more. Really push you out the side. And then when you have it, go do it. And I will be here to do, like, putting things like, one of my things that I'm planning that's going to happen because I'm speaking into fruition. I'm going to take my boys on a 10-day trip to Iceland. You know what I mean? We're going to do a wellness, a healing-centered engagement trip to Iceland. I lived in Iceland. Was able to play basketball there, and it's the land of fire and ice. The volcano erupted in my town, and then if you go drive 2 hours north, it's just glaciers. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Like it's the most beautiful thing, and just taking them out of their everyday environment where there's street lights, where it's noise, where it's like, nah, we're going to go see the Northern Lights. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to sit in this circle. You're going to breathe, and you're going to listen to these waterfalls with sound therapy for cleansing. And you're going to learn how to talk about how that made you feel. So like there's and learn how to express yourself and really just seeing the world is way bigger. And then how how funny life works is I'm at MIT taking one of my entrepreneurship courses. My professor's from Iceland, and I'm telling, she's like, I can help you with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling her my idea. She like, oh yeah, no, like let's do it. You know what I mean? Or just like, and being around classmates, like, yo, you founded 2 schools. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like everybody where I'm like, you're sitting there talking like, okay, I see why you're here. Like you have a story that I haven't heard before. You've done something in your life that people aren't doing, and Harvard found a way to put us all together. And look at this.
Facts.
Like it was just been an amazing experience. Like definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made. And again, thinking about longevity, thinking about legacy, thinking about setting a precedent. Where now, when I have kids, I'm like, hey, you can go to Lawrenceville as a legacy, or you can go to you go to the public school. What do you want to do? Like, what if you want to go to Harvard, you could follow in my path and go to Harvard, or if you want to go to Tuskegee or FAMU, let's do it. Like, I'm there with you, whatever, and understanding that, like, just making sure that you can be an example and a tool. We have to lift as we climb. We have to lift as we climb. So I think, like, sometimes people get to a level and get out of touch. I'm like, I don't see how people can do that. I'm a person who I'm tangible. Like I said, I couldn't feel my hands. I like touching people. Like, I need to have hands on. I need to touch this. We need to be here. I'm like, nah, we like, oh no, we go. It's hot. We're walking. We about to walk this mile. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk before. So guess what? We're gonna enjoy this heat and we're gonna take this walk. So it's just been a blessing.
Man. That's so beautiful, man. I I'm just listening, and I'm truly inspired, man. It's so beautiful to listen to all of the various stories and your experience, and I just know that there's the things that you're already planning, you're doing it, also planning. Like, there's like zero doubt that you're making it happen. You're gonna make it happen, man. And it's gonna be in another segment, yo, Coach, man. We went to Iceland. Well, that segment is going to talk about that. Like, how was that for your boys, man? Because I know that's going to be a beautiful experience, 100%. So, I just want to pivot for one moment, just to get back to, like, the whole idea, like, people, and kids thinking about basketball, playing at a professional level or going to college. Like, what is one thing you would say that they would just need to have some, to be realistic about, right? So what do you think is one thing you can just talk to it could be the parent, it could be a player, just from your experience, your perspective, like, what is something that's just real that they need to know?
Go where you're wanted. Go where you're wanted. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to play D1 ball. 97% of high school players don't play Division I basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like if you are, like, you know what I mean? And this is not, there's some people with late bloom, like, like, who do that. But if you're a senior or you done went to prep school and you only have D3 interest, go D3, brother. That college degree is the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, that college degree, and one of the people don't think the Division III, the Amherst, the Williams College, the Bates, they don't, like, these are the Wesleyans. You know what I'm saying? These are the academic prestigious schools where they have hundreds of millions of dollars. If they wanted to be a Division I school, they could be. They have great campuses, beautiful places. They're like, all right, like, no, we're here to learn. We're here to push you. We're going to, you know what I mean? You're worried about trying to be on TV or something, like, for 40 minutes. I'm trying to have you own a television company, but you're just not, you're not listening. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's even worse with the parents. I'm like, a lot of times, if you look at the amount of these NBA players, look at their parents. Let's see. Kyrie, I'll just a few off the top of my Kyrie Irving. His father was a Division I basketball player who played professional. Klay Thompson. His dad was the #1 draft pick. You know what I mean? Andrew Wiggins. His mother was an Olympic track star. His father, like, played in college, like, you know what I mean, at the high level. Like, a lot of, like, dude, you didn't make a high school team. But you're over here on the sidelines thinking you're Coach K and you know what to do to get your son to the NBA. Like, One,
Right.
you didn't help him out genetically. Stop trying to live through your kids. You know what I'm saying? You just because you had that hoop dream, bro, your dream needs to be whatever his dream or her dream is. Ask them what they want to do, not you need to do this, you need to do that. Again, like my college coaches always say, I can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself.
Facts.
It doesn't matter how many camps you send the kid to. It doesn't matter how many exposure, showcases. Doesn't matter. You want to hop on every circuit AAU team, but the cream gonna rise to the top. Like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times kids don't understand that, but we don't need 10, 20-point scorers on this team.
No.
What are your strengths? What do you do well, and how can you excel at that? Because guess what? I see people, they couldn't hit the side of a barn with a rock. Can't throw, but they're picking up 94 feet and they are in top peak condition. Guess what? As a coach, I need that guy out there. Yes. I can trust him because he's going to give me 100% effort. He's going to play hard, play defense, and he's in condition. A lot of these kids, dude, I had a session yesterday. I'm like, yo, we've been in here 12 minutes and you are bent over.
Wow.
Why would I, as a coach, how can I trust you? High school game, 32 minutes. You think you want to be a star, you should be. You're tired.
Yeah.
Why would you think? I'm sitting here giving you directions purposely as you're tired, and it's going through one ear and out the other.
Mm-hmm.
You're not at a mental toughness level. You check out when things get hard. How can I trust you as a coach when it's or you like doing the lazy things? I'm telling you, we're doing a drill. I'm telling you, sprint to the corner. You want to, it's easier to pass it from the free throw line. So now I drop a play. It's 10 seconds left in the game. One, who knows if you're paying attention because you're just exhausted. And two, it's going to be easier. You think it's easier. Like, oh, no, I'm just, I just creep up to the wing so he can see me instead of being where you're supposed to be. Dude, I don't want you to get the ball. I need you in the deep corner so your man is 3 feet down, closer to you, and not standing in the passing lane. But That's you right. don't understand that because, one, you don't watch basketball. You think you watch basketball. You sit there, you watch TikTok highlights, or you watch Ball is Life and Hoop Mixtape and sit here and watch clips. Or you watch a basketball game, you're watching an NBA game, you're not seeing how does he get through a screen? How does he set up his defender in a diamond formation and choosing which way to come off? How is this dude setting that back screen so the dude could catch, so my teammate could catch a lob? How I'm not watching how that big yells out, screen, left, right. Not after your guard already got his head knocked off either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you're supposed to be going out the hedge, but it's easier to drop. So you're going to take the easy way out. Now we give up a three at the tie game. It's 10 seconds left. So I think really be true to yourself, understand your strengths, play to your strengths. Don't go out there, trying to do all this. To try to impress somebody, or you're listening to your parents or your cousin on the sideline, shoot the ball. Are you waking up at 5:45 to catch 2 buses to be in the gym at 7 a.m. before school starts, working on your shot? Because if you're not, you shouldn't be shooting the ball. If you're not getting up to run, if you're not pushing yourself, if you're not doing suicides in the gym by yourself, don't think you should be in the game when it's 1 minute left.
When it matters. When it matters.
When it matters. Don't cheat the game of basketball. Don't think that anybody owes you anything.
Oh,
because nobody will. And there's somebody who's always ready to take your spot. And even at the high school level, high school, you lose games, that AD is telling you are out of here. Like now you might not. Now you got to wait 5 years to get another head coaching opportunity.
No doubt.
Now that's taking money out your family's pockets. You know what I'm saying? You think I'm gonna play you? You think I'm gonna put my job and money that feeds my family? You think I'm gonna have that trust in you when you don't even trust me enough to listen and follow directions?
Listen and follow directions.
Like how hard is that? And look, this ain't college. We not in practice. The JV team got to practice. The girls varsity got to practice. We got one court. This high school. You don't got 3 training facilities. Freshman team got to practice. You not in practice for 3 hours.
Nope.
You in there 90 minutes, maybe an hour, and you can't come in here focused. You can't come in here with energy. Why is the coach is more excited or more enthused than you? Coach done played on ESPN. Coach done did what he needed to do. Coach got his college degree. Coach got a job. You're the one who can't pass algebra right now. You're the one who might be academically ineligible because you don't have the discipline to know that after practice, I need to study for an hour and a half, or I need to say, hey, coach, I need to go have this this session with my teacher for 30 minutes after school because I have an exam coming up and I don't know what I need to do.
That's right.
No coach is gonna tell you, nah, don't worry about that. You good. Like, no, focus on that. You a student athlete. Like you think you getting into college, you think I'm going as a college coach, I'm going to put my 6-figure job on the line, right? That's feeding my family to trust. You think I'm gonna give you $200,000 scholarship and you don't go to class in high school, but you think I'm gonna bring you to Kansas or I'm gonna bring you down, fly you to Florida and think that you're gonna do? No, you are who you are. Look, you are who you are. Your tendencies and your habits show me who you are. And it doesn't take long. You can fool yourself. You can put the blame on others, but no, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to have some accountability. And that's just the truth. You're gonna have to look in the mirror because like you can have people on Instagram. Hey, yo, bro, coach bugging. You should be out there. Like, yo, transfer. You need to go here. Now you done been to 5 schools. If you done been to 5 schools and you've been on the bench at 5 schools, don't blame the coach. The coaches aren't out to get. Son, I'm trying to win games.
I'm trying to win games. It's not personal.
To win games here. If I think you can be like, bro, I'm 42 and I'm 45 and have 3 kids and I'm trying to send a kid to college. You think I'm gonna have a personal beef with a 16-year-old? Right. Like you think I wake up with my baby crying at home, right? I wake up at 4 a.m. to warm up a bottle. You think I'm thinking about you and why I'm not playing you? Right. No. If you can help me, I can help you.
I can help you.
That's just the real, man. That's the real. And sometimes I'm old school. Sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. I think people need to learn the hard way, and then you because sometimes it's gonna click eventually, and you better hope it click at 16 instead of 26.
Right. That's what I was going to
That's all
say.
that
Hopefully
you
it clicks
better.
sooner than later, because if it clicks later, you're going to be sitting back saying, yo, they tried to tell me, man. They was telling me, and I just wasn't listening.
Wasn't listening.
Man,
So
listen, I want to say, man, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your experience. A lot of things I didn't know. And I think the people, man, they don't even understand, what the treat that, they received today. And I'm gonna say, man, anything you need from me, you got my information. Just reach out, man. Just reach out. So I want to thank you again, my brother. Just in terms of a time, I want to get you, so you can get to bed and, and do what you do. And do what you do, man. So
yes.
I want to say thanks again. Appreciate you. Until next time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, cool. All right, cool.